Hey everybody, Austin here. I'm going to do some No Fear pinball gameplay. A pinball machine from 1995 by Williams. This is a pretty cool machine. I'll be honest with you, I didn't really like it that much when I first got it, but it's over the last 2 months, it's really grown on me, especially after doing these streams and showing you guys how the game operates. This is not my first stream of this game, but it's my first stream of this game, or maybe my second, on this channel on twitch.tv. For those of you guys that are watching this on YouTube, I now have a pinball streaming channel on Twitch. So you can find it at twitch.tv/AKM Kind of like the channel you're looking at right now, AKM Pinball Videos. You can just find me at twitch.tv/AKM all one word, and you can find the link in the description box below. This is going to be a No Fear tutorial, a live tutorial. I've done a couple of these on Twitch already for varying games like 8-Ball and Hollywood Heat, but this will be one for No Fear. And I've already got a No Fear gameplay video on YouTube, and if you don't want to hear me talk and if you want better video quality and so forth, check out my No Fear pinball gameplay video. I have just a straight gameplay video with the dot matrix display and the playfield, and I also have one of just the playfield fully stretched out, so for you guys like looking on cell phones or tablets or something like that, you can just watch the gameplay. I do get to the end wizard mode, which is called Meet Your Maker, and that's really the ultimate goal in the game if you're trying to score tons of points, and I'll go ahead and explain that later on as this video progresses. But yeah, if you don't want to watch this, go watch the other one I've got on my YouTube channel. And yeah, so this is going to be a live commentary video. I was originally planning on doing a post-commentary video on my YouTube videos, but I don't really feel like doing that. I'm kind of busy these days, so I'd rather just kill two birds with one stone. I'd rather just play some pinball and talk to you guys while I play at the same time. It's just so much easier, I think, on all of us, actually. The rules will also make a little more sense when I'm here, like, pointing out stuff with my hands and whatnot. To actually have hands. I'm a real person. So yeah, we're going to be playing some No Fear. And so yeah, let's go ahead and get started, guys. I don't think anybody's actually watching me from the live stream, but the point of this was also to upload it to YouTube afterwards. So No Fear has, well, the ultimate goal in No Fear is, again, to get to your wizard mode. It's called Meet Your Maker. In order to do that, you have to progress through your 5 main challenges, as they call them. You've got Air Challenge on the far right, which is blinking right now, Snow Challenge, Water Challenge, Asphalt Challenge, and Dirt Challenge. Basically 5 main modes you have to get through, and then you unlock your 3 wizard modes. I would just call them all wizard modes, to be honest with you, because they're all very high scoring modes, almost equally so. I mean, Meet Your Maker, you can get some absurd points, but if you play out no limits just right, which maybe we will, maybe we won't in this play session, you can get an absurd amount of points in that as well. Fearfest, maybe not quite as much as the other two, but it's still a ton of points. It's still a lot of points, and you'll see what I mean once we get to there. There's a lot of other fun stuff you can do in the game that you're not really going to be focusing on from a scoring perspective. For instance, you're not going to really be shooting this track around the skull. There's actually a loop shot around here. So you got this big skull right here, and he actually talks to you, which is pretty cool. You can shoot the ball to the left of him, and it comes up and flies right back down to your left flipper. And vice versa. If you hit the right shot, it'll come back up, race around the track, and come back to your right flipper. So if you happen to hit these shots, these are actually good moments to drop catch. And I highly recommend drop catching on this, unless the game is moving kind of slow, and then it'll come down, you can bounce past it over. But usually the drop catch is the way to go. So you're not going to really go for that, though, for points. It's not really worth that many points. There are a few things that activate there, like a hurry up. There's also a multi-ball in there after 9 or 12 shots or so. I don't remember how many it is exactly. There's also an extra ball in there on the track. But, you know, that extra ball isn't going to light if you've lit the extra ball somewhere else, like on the raceway values down here. If you look at these lights down here, this is the raceway. And right now, the next shot on the raceway will be worth 10 million points. And the raceway is basically the orbits after the ball hits one of these in lanes. So if the ball comes down from the right, hits this in lane, it's going to light this orbit. And if you pop the ball up in that orbit, it's going to collect this current raceway value and then advance it. Very typical stuff. It's almost like the what's that? The outer orbit in Funhouse. When you hit one of the right in lanes, it'll light the left orbit. You hit it, and then it advances that value on Funhouse. There's a lot of games that do that. No Fear does that. But what's good about this, and good to keep in mind, is that there's an extra ball in here as well, which is the last one. So you've got 5 lights here, and the 5th one is light extra ball. Extra ball lights on the skull. However, my game is set, I believe, to only probably only 2 extra balls for the entire game. I don't think I've gotten any more than that. I maybe have gotten 3. This is not in tournament mode, by the way, as well. So I'll go ahead and explain the differences there later on. But what's interesting to note about the extra ball is, again, if you light the extra ball on the raceway down here, it will not light on the track. But if you make track completions first, before completing the raceway down here, the extra ball on the raceway won't light. So it's kind of interesting how that works. And at least on this version of the ROM, this is the original ROM. There are modern revisions of it, but this is the original ROM. And yeah, that's how it operates on the original ROM. I don't know if there are any differences on the updated ROMs. But the only No Fears I've played with updated ROMs have always been in tournament mode, so I haven't been able to validate that. There's a saucer up here, which is really cool. When you're not in tournament mode, this saucer basically acts as like a mystery award. When you're not in a mode, it is always active, so you could literally just play the saucer all day if you want. In tournament mode, it's just going to progress basic things. It's going to progress your ramps over here. It's going to progress your targets over here. There's some stand-up targets you probably can't see, but they'll relight your kickback, and it's actually under this mountain here. They'll relight your kickback on the left, but they'll also progress a guy climbing a mountain. And the goal is to get him to climb the mountain. So this saucer in tournament mode will also do that. When you're not in tournament mode, it can give you a lot of really nice goodies. It can start a challenge for you, which is basically, again, your modes here. It can start one of your 5 modes you need. It can even start one of the wizard modes once you get to them being ready. So it can take care of that hard shot for you. The skull is a very tight shot. But it can also start video mode, and you can just go straight into video mode. Sometimes it'll start what's called payback time, a combo mode. Well, a mode where you have to basically whack your ramps 3 times each, and it'll start a high-scoring mode like in Terminator 2. This saucer can also do things like start over the edge, which is the multi-ball that you can get from the track up here. And you can even light extra ball. Actually, you might even award extra ball, from what I understand. So it can even start multi-ball. There's a drop target up here. Hit that drop target to light lock. On the first multi-ball, you can either hit either lock shot, which is the skull, or where the target is, and in 3 locks you start multi-ball. This saucer, when it's not in tournament mode, can also just throw you right into the main multi-ball, which can be a pretty high scoring mode as well if you play it out just right. So yeah, that's kind of No Fear in a basic nutshell. There are some other things I'm going to explain as we go, but the first thing I want to do is just take you through all the 5 beginning modes here. So when you get your ball in the plunger lane, you can actually select. If you look at the dot matrix display, you can actually select what you want. You get a few like goodies you can pick from. Unfortunately, since I've been sitting here forever, they're actually scrolling through really quickly, and it's hard to actually pick the one I want. But you've got things like lock ball. You can get a free ball lock. You can start the challenge that's lit, so right now it's air challenge. You can do what's called Supercross level, and that basically advances you a level on your ramps. Remember, if you progress 3 levels on both ramps, you start payback time. And payback time, every shot in the playfield's lit for 25 million, and it lasts about 20 seconds. It's a okay mode. In the grand scheme of things, payback time is actually something I avoid. But in beginner or low level play, it's actually something that's really good to go for, to get used to the game and get used to how the game scores and stuff like that. But in higher level play, you don't even really mess with payback time because there's other ways you can get the same amount of points without even activating payback time. Payback time also has some disadvantages in that it blocks you off from starting modes. So if you got your ultimate wizard mode lit and you accidentally start payback time, well buddy, you're out 20 or 30 seconds. You're waiting another 20 or 30 seconds before you can actually start your wizard mode. Because again, it locks you out of the mode start shot. So yeah, from a low level perspective, things like payback time are really solid, and the Supercross level on the plunge will get you there faster. I was actually playing in a tournament yesterday, and the Supercross level actually saved me at the end of the tournament. So I mean, and it's also going to vary based on what machine you play. Like my No Fear is a pretty nice No Fear. Like it's, and I mean nice as in like it's kind to you. Compared to the one I played yesterday, my highest score on the one I played yesterday was about 1.8 billion. And in comparison, my highest score in here, not counting the buy-in, is about 21 billion. So I mean, I've scored 20 more billion points on this one than I did on the one I played yesterday. And I played the one yesterday quite a bit. It's a really brutal No Fear. So on that No Fear in the tournament, a payback time could mean you've won the game. I mean, it was that hard of a No Fear. So your Supercross level on the plunge, if you're in a tournament scenario, depending on the machine, can be extremely important. There's also Advanced Raceway. That's one of your options here. There it is. And again, that'll just advance your raceway down here. This isn't something I ever go for because it's just so easy to advance the raceway on your own. The last one is Flipper Skill Shot. Yet another one that's just sort of best to be avoided unless you're just kind of goofing around. Because Start Challenge and Lock Ball, or even Supercross level, those are a lot more valuable. So I wouldn't ever worry about the Flipper Skill Shot. But basically what it is, it'll feed the ball to the right flipper, and you need to pop it up the ramp. And I think that's it. I don't think you even have to hit the upper jump ramp. And speaking of which, there is a flipper up here. Third flipper in the game. It's actually got a super elongated rod, which is kind of cool. It's one of the only games, from what I understand, to actually have a flipper this high on the playfield. It's really cool. I don't mean like this high up, but this high like literally like up above the playfield. It's kind of cool. It's not kind of cool. It's really cool. And hey, Sean, Mr. Hillman, FSPA, thanks for tuning in, buddy. And thanks, man. I appreciate the kind words. I was not expecting that yesterday, to be honest. So, yes, we had our Virginia State VA championships yesterday, and it was a long day of pinball, and it was a lot of fun. So, yeah, like I said, I'm going to try to go through each of these modes and just explain them to you. And what's going to be kind of cool is on this mode, Air Challenge, there's actually an Easter egg that you can activate, at least when the game is not in tournament mode. And that is to get a Mortal Kombat 3 hint code. When games like No Fear and Jackpot were out, Mortal Kombat 3 was like the next big thing for like Williams. And in video gaming in general, everyone was hyped for Mortal Kombat 3. And Williams put like hints and cheats, or hints in a lot of their varying games, like their pinball machines, for instance, about Mortal Kombat 3. And you know, these were probably hard to discover back in the day, but people did. And the one in No Fear is when you've got Air Challenge lit, it's going to light sort of a hurry-up shot where the lock shot is. And it'll start at a value of 25 million and then count down. If you hold the extra ball button in and hit that shot, so basically you've got one hand off your left flipper and you've got the other hand on the right flipper, you're basically just one-handed shooting. And if you manage to hit the ball up there while it's still 25 million, it'll give you the MK3 hint code. So let's see if we can do that. There we go. Air Challenge, there we go. Hold down the extra ball button. Let's see if we can hit that shot. Bam, got it. There we go. MK3 hints. Really just funny. And if you're not in tournament mode, it gives you a few extra points. It gives you 50 million versus 25 million. So let me try to get control here, and I'll sort of explain how this mode works. Again, we're not really going for ultimate high score unless I actually manage to play through all the modes, which is very unlikely. No Fear is a very brutal game. Very, very brutal game in my opinion. Even this one, if you brick a shot, ball's going to hit one of those stand-up posts, and it's just going to ricochet towards an out lane. It's just, that's how this game works. So, on Air Challenge, when you collect your value, every shot will then light, and you'll have 30 seconds to complete every shot in the playfield. And once you do that, you'll collect the 25 million for each shot, and then you'll also get 75 million at the end for completing each mode. So I've completed the lock shot and the left saucer. Now I need to complete the track, the skull, the left ramp, right ramp, and both orbits. So what I'm going to do is actually go for that right orbit and brick it, and brick that, and yeah, that's not very good. I'm just going to time it out because I've got like 3 seconds left. So yeah, that's Air Challenge. Basically, an Air Challenge is you lock in your value, every shot lights, and then the goal is to complete every shot on the playfield. So when you get out of a mode, the next mode automatically lights. And so what we're going to do is just go for that mode. I've got the ball on the right flipper here, and the skull is the mode shot, mode start shot. And so from the right flipper, you can just pop the ball straight up. It's literally like a perfect backhand, straight up the playfield. And then we'll be in Dirt Challenge if I make it. If I miss and the ball comes back down and hits the slingshots, it'll actually alternate, which mode is lit. So I'm hoping Dirt Challenge, I get it, because Dirt Challenge is a pretty decent little mode for scoring. You can come out of it with maybe 20 to potentially 400 million, depending on how well you can milk the upper loops. In Dirt Challenge, you want to hit the left ramp and then hit upper loops. As they call it, they call this the jump ramp. There's actually a hop right here, or a gap, and the ball literally like jumps over. There's also another hop up here, a gap, but you can't really see it. So in Dirt Challenge, every shot basically becomes 20 million a shot, and you just go bam, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, if you can loop it successfully. There are some No Fears where this loop is really tough. There are others where the loop is just absurdly easy. Mine sits somewhere in the middle. It can be easy. I can get 20, 30, 40 shots in a row sometimes, but there are lots of other times where I get like one or half of one, where like you hop the ball over but it doesn't go all the way around, and then it feeds back to your right flipper. So let's go ahead and do that. Pop it up. There we go. Now, Dirt Challenge actually starts off at 5 million a shot, but the fourth shot is 20 million, and then it just caps off there, and every shot is 20 million. So there's one for 5. And there's a brick. There's a 1, 10, 15, 20. Now everything is 20 now. And that was a nice kickback. If you notice that it loops back around the track, my kickback is actually very, very inconsistent. And that was bad. I'll just go ahead and tilt out. My tilt is very, very, not my tilt. My kickback is very consistent. On No Fears, the kickback is typically aligned to where the ball will fly back up, loop around the track, and feed straight to your right flipper. Mine, it did that time, which was great. But other times it comes out and hits like this wall over here, or it comes out and goes too far up and like bricks one of the posts and comes straight down. So you have to watch out for that when you're playing No Fear as well. And Kevin, how's it going? Good morning to you as well. I'm doing a No Fear tutorial. So let's go ahead and start our next challenge. It's going to be the water challenge. And basically in the water challenge, every shot is lit. The value starts out at 10 million per shot. And every shot is pretty much open. And so if you really wanted to, you could just hit the upper loop. You could hit the orbit like that. And on my game, you can actually backhand the left ramp which on a lot of no fears you can't do that. Hitting the saucer over here builds the value, and it also adds time to the mode. So I just built it up to 20 million, another 10 seconds were added. It maxes out at 30, so there's 25 million. One more shot, it'll be worth... We've got it maxed out now at 30. Whoa, that was bad. Hit that sling. That doesn't usually happen that often on this one. So now that it's maxed out at 30, what I should be doing is going for that upper ramp. But I am literally not playing well at all. I'm bricking most of my shots. But I am flailing a little bit too, so... There we go. Bam, 30. Wow. And what's kind of sad is that this ball is actually kind of easy to hit. It's just coming around really slow. It's still crediting me the 30, which is good. It's still crediting me the 30 million a shot because there is a where is it? I believe it credits you on that gate right there. There's a switch gate right here. And I want to say when it hits that switch in Water Challenge, it credits you the shot. I think that's how it works. I might not be 100% on that. But if you notice, I didn't actually make the loop. But it still gave me the 30 million for the shot that I missed. So, alright, I had the ball on the left flipper. Post-transferring on this specific no fear doesn't really work. But the one I was playing on last night, it was working from the left flipper. So that's something you might want to experiment with. Post-transferring is when you pop the ball into the slingshot and it literally just bounces back over to the right. But I'm going to try to straight on shot. And if I make it, we're going to be an Asphalt Challenge. Asphalt Challenge is a track-based mode. You have to hit the track or the skull 3 times. First shot is, I don't remember what the values are exactly, but after all 3 shots are done, you get 200 million. So let's see if we can hit that skull. And I bricked it. But this is fine. I've got it on the right flipper. I can just backhand it straight up. So let's just backhand it. There we go. And what I like to do is when the ball feeds to the right flipper, I like to pop it straight up to that left track shot. So see if we can do that. Just like that. And again, sometimes. And, whoa, look at that. Look at that. That was actually pretty cool. So that's the Asphalt Challenge for you. Asphalt Challenge it's kind of risky, and what I'll do sometimes is I'll go for my no fear drop target, which will light the lock on the skull. The lock will be lit, but you can still hit the skull to lock your ball and to collect the value on Asphalt Challenge. So sometimes when I'm in Asphalt Challenge, it's kind of a risky mode as is. I might as well just try to work towards my multi-ball at the same time. Next one's going to be Snow Challenge. Snow Challenge is the right ramp will be lit. The left ramp will be blocked off. There are some magnets in the back here that will grab the ball and feed it back down to your left flipper. Basically, they'll divert the ball. So I'm going to go ahead and try to hit that and get the Snow Challenge started. Flick passes and such are your friend on this game, just like most Williams games. So there we go. Now, this is a mode that's probably best to be timed out or something like that, because the right ramp in this game is a really, really tricky shot. It doesn't look like it would be, but it's kind of far back in the playfield, and it's at this weird angle, and it's just tough to hit. But if you really wanted to play this mode out, you could either hit the what they call the downhill, which is the right ramp. He just said it, shoot the downhill, and it starts off at about 60 million, I believe. If you want to build that value, you can hit the left ramp or the right orbit. Those will build the values by, I believe, about 10 million. It's not really worth going for. I've maybe maxed it out to about 100 million or so. And that's really lucky, because once you shoot this right orbit, you're out of control. It's very difficult to live catch on this game from the orbits. So once you shoot that right orbit, ball's out of control. You pretty much have to flail it back up and hope that it doesn't hit a post and drain. So instead of going for those, I'm just going to go for the right ramp and hope I get it. So let's go ahead and try that. Got it. And went ahead and lit my lock since I was at it. But I actually did a little bit better on that than I thought I would. For one, if you play out all your modes, you can get a little over 1 billion points just from your main modes alone. Problem is, playing your modes out is actually really risky in this game because, again, any brick shot can be instant death. And I've actually gotten pretty lucky with the drains. As you saw, I was flailing a lot. I wasn't playing very well. I also just woke up, so that could be it. I did get that free save here, though, from the kickback. So there was that. I did technically drain once, but the kickback saved me. So, but yeah, we're actually farther than I thought it would be. So let me go ahead and explain the wizard modes. No Limits is your first wizard mode. It's a really good wizard mode. I think it's better than Fearfest as long as you can control your ball. Basically, I believe this is a 4-ball multi-ball. I think it is. And all shots are lit. Every single shot in the playfield is lit. Every shot is worth 20 million starting off. And then the value increases by 1 million for every single shot you make. And it actually caps out at 70 million points a shot. And that's my goal, is to get a couple balls cradled here, milk the upper ramp and the loop to build my value up to 70 million. I actually managed to do that in my YouTube video. So if I don't do it here, you can go check out my YouTube video and see it maxed out at 70 million. So I've got my lock lit as well. Normally the lock will also be lit on the skull when one of my normal modes is lit. When the wizard mode is ready, though, the lock will not light on the skull. You have to cash in your wizard mode first, unless you're on your third ball lock. Third ball lock overrides everything on the skull. So that's something to keep in mind as well. If you're trying to get to your wizard mode, and you've got 2 balls locked, you don't want to light your third lock. Otherwise, you're going to have to play your regular multi-ball before going to any of your wizard modes. And that's the same with any of your modes. If you just want to go through your modes, and you don't want multi-ball, don't light your third lock. It's going to block you out of starting your modes on the skull. But I haven't done that. I haven't locked a single ball yet. So we'll go ahead and just pop it up in the skull. Ooh, or not. Let's see if we can do a forward hand. Brick in the forward hand. Wow, totally overshooting. Overshooting big time. And that was bad. And that can happen too. Hold the right flipper up, ball rolls up and over. Up and out. So I'm not doing too bad though. I mean, ball 3. And there's one more strategy I can use as well to get an extra ball. And again, that's to advance my raceway, which is something I normally do. But I usually try to save it for multi-ball. I try not to do it in single ball play. So let's go ahead and lock a ball, get a free ball lock. And I might even just lock 2 more balls. Oh, I bricked it, man. Tough drain. Not drain, but just tough miss. It literally ricocheted all the way up there, started jiggling, and it didn't go in all the way. So I just did exactly what I told you I don't normally want to do. But what I'm trying to do is get my multi-ball started. That is really bad. What a waste. What a waste. Total waste. I was getting a little cocky there. I was thinking, you know, I could go for my multi-ball and get that extra ball in the multi-ball and then have that extra ball for the wizard mode. So what we're going to do is go ahead and just cancel the buy-in. I'm going to go ahead and keep playing. I'm going to be playing here for a little while. And we'll go ahead and start up another game. What I'm going to do is just play multi-ball. I'm going to also start a challenge, just to try to progress through my challenges as well while I'm doing this. But I'm going to go for that drop target and try to get into multi-ball. To show you guys what multi-ball is like. Oh, man. Sometimes you can hit the drop target from the left flipper. It's an extremely tight shot. And bad drain. Again, getting a little cocky. What I could have done, if I really just wanted to show you multi-ball, was choose lock ball. But I also kind of want to progress through my modes as well, because maybe I'll get to show you the wizard modes. So, let's go for that drop target again. Just like that. It's always best to get control in this game and just play under control. Play controlled, because if you try to shoot some stuff on the fly in this game, like the skull, you might get it. You probably won't get it, though. That's really how No Fear works. So get control, pop it straight up. So we got one more ball lock. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Just like that. And I'm having trouble with this forward hand shot, and I think what the problem is I actually kind of got used to my friend's No Fear last night, which again plays completely different than mine. So all the shots I was actually used to, not used to them at all anymore. So let me try to get a couple balls under control, and I'll explain how regular multi-ball works. The biggest thing in the regular multi-ball is that the saucer will actually hold on to a ball for you for a short period of time. So let me try to pop a ball into that saucer. There we go. I've got a ball in the saucer. It's going to hold on to it for about 15 or 20 seconds. I can either go for jackpots, or I can go for upper jump ramps. The ball's going to kick out right now. Just like that. Ooh. It wasn't a very nice kick out. So there we go. Good control. Let's go ahead and get the jackpots. First jackpot's on the skull. 50 million right there. Next jackpot's going to be on your main lock shot. 100 million right there. Last jackpot's going to be on the jump ramp. 200 million right there. Now what's great about the jump ramp in multi-ball is every shot on the jump ramp is 25 million. So what I do when I'm in multi-ball is I usually don't even go for jackpots. I go for jump ramps, and there's actually a big reason for that. For one, just a few jump ramps is equivalent to a jackpot, or 2, or 3, or 4, it depends. There's 25, 25, 20, well, I think it didn't credit me for all 3, but flail-tastic. But there's a few reasons I don't go for jackpots. Let's try to get the NK3 code again since we're here. Hold down the extra ball button. Oops. Oh, missed it. I'm going to run out of time. Yep, missed it. So there's no doing it now. Let's lock in that value. Brick it, man. I am bricking everything. Okay. Going to go ahead and just let this go down to 10 million and let it play out. But yeah, so basically in multi-ball, you can either hit the saucer. Well, hitting the saucer holds the ball. Hitting your jackpots on the skull, lock, and then upper jump ramp will collect you 50, 100, then 200 million respectively. Or just hitting the upper jump ramp will give you 25 million a shot. And the reason the upper jump ramp is important because every jump you make successfully adds 5 million to your bonus. It counts as a jump and is tallied in bonus. You can get a maximum, I believe, of 200 jumps. At least I've gotten 200 jumps exactly twice, which makes me think it caps at 200. And that's 1 billion points in bonus. Now, the reason that's important is that that carries over from ball to ball. So you might get 20 jumps on one ball. You might get another 25 on your next ball. And it just snowballs and snowballs over the course of the game. So you'll get that 20 jump bonus on ball 1, and that carries over to ball 2 and 3. But then you'll just keep building on that as you keep playing the game. 100 jumps, which is very doable, very realistic, is 500 million in bonus, which is huge in this game. So yeah, if you don't hit any jackpots and you just hit jump ramps, when you drain your balls and you have one ball in play, you have 10 seconds to get the super jackpot, 200 million. So what I'll do is I'll just be going 25, 25, 25, 25, 25. 5 ramps is also another 25 million in bonus. You can see where I'm getting at here. I'm doing two goals at once. I'm getting the points, but I'm also building my bonus up at the same time. And then when I drain, I have a chance at a free 200 million, which is, you know, more than just your first 2 jackpots combined. So that's why I do that. Now, if you look at the dot matrix display, the timer on this mode is actually stopped. No Fear is a game where you can time out modes to a certain degree. About 15 seconds into a mode, maybe a little bit less, the timer will actually stop. And this is where I actually have to make a shot now. It forces me to make a shot. Let's see if I can backhand that left ramp, and then hopefully get some jump ramps. There we go. Magnets are going to help the ball over, and I'll just milk the jump ramps. Once you hit 5 jump ramps in a row, hitting 5 jump ramps in a row will raise the jump ramp value to 25 million. So you can get some really solid points just by hitting the jump ramp over and over and over again. And remember, every jump ramp is adding 5 million in bonus to your end of ball bonus, and that carries over from ball to ball. So what I want to do is light my... I'm going to go ahead and just start the challenge, because again, this is Asphalt challenge, and what I'm going to do is try to light my locks again. And basically what I'll be doing is if I can hit the skull to get my locks going, let's go ahead and hit those. Oh, I was trying to hit the, whatever. I was going to try to hit the stand-up targets to light my kickback, because I'm having a problem with that left out lane right now. And that was bad. That was a really bad live catch. But again, it's really tough live catching from the orbits on No Fear. At least on this specific No Fear. Kevin, the tournament went well. Very well, actually. It went very well. So what I'm going to do is actually buy in just to show you guys throughout the rest of the game. And then we'll try to just play a serious game where maybe I'm not explaining as much. So, start another challenge. We're back on Snow Challenge. And Snow Challenge is kind of like Asphalt Challenge for me. It's a mode I typically just use to lock balls or something like that. It's much more valuable to get your balls locked because you can get... I've come out of Multiball before with billions of points. A couple billion. So Multiball, if you can play it out just right, is very, very much worth playing. There's a post transfer. Probably shouldn't have been able to do it, but on some games where you can't post transfer, if you get the ball up the flipper just a little bit and then pop it up, it'll literally just bounce right over. It's all about angles. And if you can get that angle right in the flipper, you can post transfer on just about any game. It's just you got to get a little more creative with it. It's not something I would really recommend doing on most games though. Like, see, just like that. But if I have the ball just in place like this, I won't be able to post transfer. See? Very bad, and I just got punished for it. But we're using buy-ins right now. I'm just going to show you through the rest of the modes, and then again, we'll do a serious game. I have my game set to do 3 buy-ins. And depending on how I'm feeling, I'll actually use my buy-ins. I've got a buy-in GC, and then I've got a normal GC. And my normal GC is about 21 billion, and my buy-in GC is somewhere around like 37 or 39 billion. The game can get kind of boring once you go through the wizard mode a second time, and it's just a grind. And again, the game can be very punishing, like 1 brick and you're out. A lot of pinballs like that, but No Fear is like that times 10. Let's go ahead and lock another ball. So I do want to show you some more multi-ball, but first I want to show you No Limits. And I popped it up. Sometimes on the kick out here, you can just pop it straight up. Depends on how fast it rolls out. So again, this is No Limits, guys. Every shot is 20 million, and then it just builds up from there. And what I'm going to do at first is try to get that extra ball. That's actually dumb. I don't really need the extra ball. I just want to get the balls cradled. So I can try to get this value up very, very high. Alright. Ooh, there we go. Good position. 2 balls in the left flipper, 1 ball in the right. That's exactly what you want in No Fear. Or just 1 ball in the left. Doesn't really matter. As long as you have 1 ball cradled, you can just pummel this ramp. 25 million. Next shot's going to be 26. 27. 27. Okay. 28. And I'm having a really hard time with that upper ramp. That jump ramp. I'll eventually dial it down as this video progresses. That's how No Fear is. You got to find the shot. You got to find the timing. But we're to 35 million a shot now. That's kind of big in this game. There you go. 40 million a shot now. 43 a shot. There we go. Magnets helped it up. That's bad. When I have 2 balls cradled on the left flipper, on my game anyway, it wasn't working that great on my friends, although it did work sometimes. You can pop it straight back to the left saucer, like that. The ball will kick right back out, hopefully hit the ball, hop over to the right flipper just like that, and we can continue our ramp bashing. There we go, 50, 51, 52. Oh, that's not good. If the ball doesn't make it up that left ramp, you can be in serious danger. All right, we're we're in good standing again. So let's go ahead and try this again. Keep working our way towards 70 million a shot. I mean, 50 million a shot's a ton of points, and look at how easy these can be once you get the timing down. And unfortunately, sometimes No Fear calls for flailing. That's just how No Fear is. When the ball comes down really fast at a weird angle, you can't live catch it. You got to pop it back up. Let the ball hop over, as long as it doesn't hit the slingshot or do that. And that was a situation where you had to pop it back up. There was no live catching that. It was on the tip of the flipper. You had to pop it back up. All right, we're in a good position again. 2 balls cradled, 1 on each flipper. There we go, maxed out at 70 million a shot. Look at that. Oh, then that was bad. So that was okay no limits. Not really okay. I'd say it was a pretty decent, because I went into it with probably a billion-ish points, and I came out of it with 3 billion more than I started with. No, Kevin, I am not a pinball wizard. I just had the benefit of having top seed in my state, which meant the challenge in the beginning of the tournament was a lot easier than it would have been had I been lower down in the ranks. It probably doesn't really make any sense, but basically the first few rounds were just, I don't want to say a cakewalk, because you can always let your guard down and just lose to anybody in pinball, but I definitely had it easier in the first few rounds than most people did in that tournament. But that's the benefit to getting top seed. For a tournament like that, top seed plays the lowest, or top seed plays the lowest seed. So basically, top seed, the best player, not really the best player, but the highest ranked player plays the lowest ranked player. And so the lowest ranked player, well, I'm kidding, making this sound really confusing. I'm just not gonna explain it. But basically, I had an easier time of it than I think other people did, just because of my rank in the bracket. So my seating in the bracket, so to say. So, and stick around a little bit. I'll show you the trophy and all that good stuff later. But let's focus on No Fear right now. So, all right, when you're out of a wizard mode, or no limits specifically, every shot in the playfield lights, and pretty much all progress towards anything else in the game stops. Well, you might still be able to light your locks. I kind of want to find out about that. Let's try to see if I can light my lock again. I don't think I've tried this before. So hit that drop target. Okay, so you can still get back in the multi-ball. There we go. Alright, so now all of my shots actually disappeared. And now this is because I think I have 2 balls locked. So again, when you have 2 balls locked, and you light your third lock, in the case of this, it's blocking me out of everything. I can't progress towards my wizard mode, and if I had anything else ready to go, I can't start it. So I'm going to have to play out this multi-ball, so let's go ahead and do that. If I can get 2 balls cradled and just pummel that ramp, and you guys will see how awesome that is in terms of points. It might not be that awesome in terms of entertainment, because it gets very boring. I think it's actually really fun doing it, because I'm a sucker for upper flippers. Like major sucker for upper flippers. Let's see if we can pop one back over to the saucer. Nope, but I did like my extra ball because I got my last raceway. Okay, 2 balls on the left flipper. Let's pop it back up to the left saucer. Perfect. I'm going to go ahead and get that jackpot. I'm not, actually. I'm going to go ahead and pop it to the left ramp and miss. So we'll go ahead and go for the saucer and miss. But I've got control. That's perfect. That actually worked to my advantage. It bounced off the top of the left slingshot, but the way it hit the bottom right slingshot is it just put the ball back on the left flipper for me. So I'm going to go ahead and skip the jackpots, like I said, just so I can demonstrate how that works. So let's go for 25 million, a jump ramp. And I missed. Okay, we suck. More specifically, I suck. So I'm going to try to backhand the left ramp and fail. Let's try to forward hand it. Oh, missed it. Whoa, really? We missed it. So that was pretty pathetic. But it's okay. Basically, what would have happened is if the ball went all the way around, and I really got gypped on that last one because it came over and hit the edge of the metal loop up there, and it just ricocheted back and came back down. So if I had actually made that last shot, though, that I bricked, I probably could have got it. It gives you about a second and a half of sort of buffer time after the timer actually reaches 0 to get that super jackpot shot. So I missed it, but it would have been 200 million, and that was just a really bad multi-ball overall. I didn't do anything with it. I didn't get a single shot, basically. So, okay, like I said, back to all your shots being blinking. Every shot you hit will add a letter to No Fear. You have to spell out the words No Fear, the name of the game, which is 6 shots. Wow, it's only 6 shots. I always thought it was 7 for some reason. But yeah, 6 shots will light your next wizard mode. And the easiest way to do that, obviously, is to hit your jump ramp. So again, I can backhand it on mine. It's not something you can do on a lot of No Fears. And of course, it also depends on how high the flippers are sitting. So there we go. Start challenge is lit. And one way to get control from the right flipper is not do that. I do have my out lanes a little bit more open than on my friends I was playing last night. So let's go ahead and continue. Again, I'm just trying to show you the modes here. And I still haven't collected my extra ball, so that's good too. And we'll go ahead and just lock another ball. We might get back in the multi-ball after we progress through all of our wizard modes. So Fearfest is lit. That was a bad backhand. But as you saw, it worked twice earlier on in the game. It is something you can do on the Vuck kick out, but it is a risky take. Very strict timing. So, and I'm overshooting. That was actually undershooting. Pop it straight up. That's why flailing like that on the fly shooting is risky. And there we go. For the tight shots like the skull, it's always best to get full control in this game and then make the shot. Obviously, it's going to be harder from the left flipper, but once you get used to the game and you dial it down, it is you can get into the groove and get it more times than you miss it. So, Fearfest is, it's worth a lot of points. Every shot is worth about 20 million. That 20 million a shot adds to sort of like a big pot. So if you make 5 shots at 20 million, there's going to be a jackpot lit for 100 million. And the jackpot, I believe, is either on the skull or the jump ramp up top. And because every shot's lit for the same value, you can just pummel the jump ramp all day. And that's what I'm going to do. But technically, you could say it's like Total Annihilation from Attack from Mars. Every shot adds to a single pot value, and then you collect a single shot to collect that value. In Attack from Mars, anyway. In No Fear, you can either shoot the skull or the super jackpot shot. Obviously, the super jackpot shot's the way to go, because remember, every jump ramp adds 5 million to bonus, and then you're also getting 20 million a shot, and after 4 or 5 shots, you can collect the 100 million that you've gotten from those 4 or 5 shots on the super jackpot shot. You just literally just keep shooting the upper ramp. It's 20, 20, 20, 20, 100, 20, 20, 20, 20, 100, 20, 20, 20, 20, 100, just like that. And then every shot you're doing, again, is 5 million in bonus at the end of your ball. And that was 140 million because I had hit other shots in the playfield. So I had built the jackpot up just a little bit larger. So 2 shots left. By the time the jackpot's ready, it'll be 100 million. And there's 100 million, just like that. 20, 20, 20. It credited me the 100. Cool. So that's Fearfest for you. And just like pretty much every wizard mode in this game, it's just hit the upper loop. And that's going to be even more true when I get to Meet Your Maker, which is going to be the next wizard mode. And I'm trying to get control, trying to get proper control, trying to get the balls cradled, and that's not good. So let me kick that ball over to the saucer. If the saucer gives me a clean feed, which it did, but that was bad because the other ball came back down and hit the other ball, which was not good. Come on, man, stop rolling around like an idiot. There we go. Let's hope that it goes over. And it didn't. It hit the top of the sling, and that is extremely frustrating. It wasn't doing that when I had the game on the other side of the room. So I did move No Fear. I moved it 2 spots down, and my floor is uneven. And so moving games like that will totally affect how the game plays. And it's not leveled the exact same way it was over there. It was really off level when I moved it here. I've adjusted it, but it's not exactly like it was over there, and so now it's hitting that sling. And what that probably means is one of the legs, the right side of the playfield needs to come down a little bit, because when it feeds out here, it's supposed to feed nicely to the left flipper. If it's hitting the top of the sling, that means the table is leaning a little bit to the left. Even just the slightest bit will affect that. Now, as you can see, it's not doing it every time, but it's doing it a lot. And there's also a metal rail over there. You could probably bend the rail out, but I don't usually like doing that. I'd rather just level my games properly and just have the game do the work for me. So, alright, I'm going to go ahead. I've got the extra ball, so I should be able to get to Meet Your Maker without a problem. And then, like I said, after that, we'll go ahead and do a serious game. So, and then after that, I'll just go back to casual streaming, because, again, this is a No Fear tutorial. Just backhand that left ramp and fail. And that was awful. That was completely stupid. Completely stupid, because that was a ton and a ton of bonus that is gone. Remember, when I had no limits, I got at least 50 ramp shots. That's 250 million right there in bonus. I probably had another 50 ramp shots before that, which would have put me at 500 million in bonus. Once you just keep playing, your the scores just start to really snowball in this game. Let's go ahead and do another lock ball. And let's go ahead and try to hit that upper ramp. There's 1 letter. 2 letters. Alright, got it. Hit that saucer. Ooh, missed the saucer, but we got control. Got it. I think that was like my first forward hand shot on the skull. It's pretty pathetic. So basically everything's lit on Meet Your Maker. This is the wizard mode of the game. It's going to pop out a lot of balls. It's going to immediately start a hurry up. I'll be 2 shots away from payback time, but again, we don't care about payback time. And the big one, though, is the upper ramp. Sorry, the upper jump shot is always lit for 200 million. 200, 200, 200, 200, 200. Look at that. And that is what this mode's all about. I typically just let some balls drain. It does help to get 2 balls in the left flipper just to have that safety net. But sometimes it's hard to do that. So we're going to go ahead and just worry about the 2 balls in play. Oh. Nope, there's a regular jackpot for 50. But we want the 200s. And I keep bricking. Can't get those 200s if you keep bricking. And this is bad. I'm totally out of control. So hit that saucer. Hopefully it feeds back to the... Oh, it keeps hitting that goddamn slingshot. Oh, it's so frustrating. Ah, it's so frustrating. When I had the game on the other side, I could pop the ball to the left saucer. It would always feed out to the left flipper. So when you play a game, any pinball machine really, and it's got multi-ball, and the multi-ball's got a rhythm and flow that you can get into. Say like Funhouse. You know, you get a ball trapped on each flipper, hit a ball up the center, hit the trap door for your jackpot, use the other ball, hit the ramp, and while that's happening, the other ball is kicking back to your right flipper. You get that ball under control on the right flipper, and you just literally do a pattern like that. Upper shot, loop, ramp, cradle. Upper shot, loop, ramp, cradle, whatever. And it's just like, No Fear's kind of the same way. If you get the balls out of control, you can pop a ball to the saucer. And while that ball is in that saucer for a few seconds, you can use the other ball to go up the ramp and start getting your loops. And while you're getting your loops, you just hold the left flipper up and you know that the ball's coming straight to it. And you get into that kind of rhythm when you get out of control in the multi-balls in this game. But that was not working out for me at all. So we'll go ahead and try to do one more multi-ball. And I'm going to have to start smacking that side of that machine, which sucks. But, I mean, that is something you can do as well, is if you know that the ball is going to come and hit the top of the sling, bam, smack the machine. It'll move the machine just a teensy tiny bit, and it'll push it off, hopefully enough to not hit the sling. So let's go ahead and try to start this multi-ball. And there we go. And I'm going to go ahead and just do the jackpot strategy. I'm going to go ahead and just play it out for jackpots. There's a ball up in the saucer. Get control. Let's get some jackpots. I'll take that. And there we go. There we don't go. Let's try it again. I'm going to have to wait. Gonna wait. Smack it with my right hand. See? It didn't hit the slingshot that time. I'm going to go ahead and forward hand that jackpot. And brick. And try it again. Let's just leave that there. Look at that. Didn't hit the top of the sling that time. I didn't even touch the machine. It's a risky take by not smacking it. But if you smack it, you're more likely to have the ball not hit the top of the slingshot. Let's just get that jackpot. There we go. Next jackpot's going to be on the lock. Oh, Jesus, man, I suck. Alright. Alright, we're going to want to just drain that out. We got to meet your maker, and that's basically what I wanted to show you guys. Now, if you notice, there was this light here called Jump This. And if the ball actually drained down the right out lane, this actually acts as like a virtual kickback. But it also starts a mode called Jump This, where you have to basically hit jump ramps for 30 million a shot. It's a cool mode. All the music goes out. You've got a crowd at the bottom of a bridge saying, jump, jump, jump. And as the timer ticks down, they start saying it faster and faster. And it's pretty cool. All the lights on the playfield, at least the playfield inserts, go out, and only that shot is lit. And it's a really neat little mode. And it also gives you your ball back. So, and you get that by hitting the stand-up targets, which lights your kickback. And yeah, Jump This is pretty cool. Unfortunately, where it is determined by the slingshots, just like your modes. So unfortunately, you might have kickback lit, but you will have Jump This lit also. And if a ball goes down there and Jump This is lit, you've kind of wasted your safety for the right side, unfortunately. It'll waste your kickback and start Jump This at the same time. But you really want Jump This on the right, and then have your kickback lit on the left. And then all you have to worry about is the center drain. And that is just always nice in these games. There are a couple other things I wanted to talk about. Go ahead and just leave it silent for a minute. Again, if you complete track completions, your first one will light the hurry up here. And you activate that by hitting your right in lane, pop it up. It's 50 million. And again, it's a hurry up, so the value it goes down and down and down. In normal single ball play, if you hit the right orbit, I believe it's 2 or 3 times in a row. I think it's twice in a row, actually, the first time. It'll light video mode on the left saucer. And again, since we're not in tournament mode, you can also start video mode by just hitting the saucer, and it might award it to you. What else is there to talk about that I haven't mentioned yet? One really important thing to note in this game is how the ramps divert. The ramps will be lit to progress towards payback time. And it's basically three shots on a ramp to do that. However, you have to do them back and forth in a combo. So what's going to happen is if I hit the left ramp, it's always, it could be either one first. The first one could be either ramp. But if you hit the right ramp, and it's always the right ramp, if you hit the right ramp and then you hit the left ramp, the magnets will always divert the ball back to the left flipper. So the right ramp is actually something I completely avoid in this game. I don't ever hit the right ramp. You don't want to combo to the right ramp because then it's going to block you off from getting your jump ramps up here. And you can be in Meet Your Maker, hit the right ramp, and it's going to divert the balls back to your left flipper. Be very, very careful with that. So you could actually do some major harm to yourself when you're in high-scoring scenarios by comboing into the right ramp and then comboing back to your left ramp. It'll think you're trying to progress towards payback time, and that's the purpose of that feature, is they want you to combo the ramps back and forth, which is really fun if you can get it. It's like Terminator 2, that sort of thing. But don't touch the right ramp unless you're just kind of playing casually, like, oh, I just want to play for payback time, or I just want to play multi-ball and then combo the ramps to get payback time while I'm in multi-ball. But when you're playing for Meet Your Maker or No Limits, don't ever touch that right ramp. Just don't do it. If you're in Snow Challenge, either get lock slit for multi-ball, because multi-ball is worth way more than the 60 million you'll get in Snow Challenge, or just time out Snow Challenge. It's not fun, but if you're trying to get to the end of the game, that's kind of what you have to do. I think that's pretty much everything about the game. I don't really think there's anything else. There is a way to get Super Spinner lit. For me, it's always just been through Meet Your Maker. Meet Your Maker will light Super Spinner, and then it's $1 million per spin. Unfortunately, my spinner isn't very good. I get about 5 spins, and that's it. But my friend's spinner, I got 20, 30, 40 spins on it. So if you have a nice spinner, that's actually worth going for. At least when you're out of Meet Your Maker. Because when you're in Meet Your Maker, there's only one thing worth going for, and that is the upper jump ramp. Take advantage of that when you're in Meet Your Maker. 200 million a shot, 200, 5 shots, and you're at 1 billion points. I had to play out my 5 modes almost completely to get a little over 1 billion. And that's a lot of shots. All I need is 5 shots on this when I'm in Meet Your Maker to get the same amount of points as that 5 or 10 minutes of play costs me. Maybe 5 minutes of play. Alright. So let's go ahead and just start up another game. This is going to be a serious game. So I'm just going to go ahead and play it. Start my challenge. Water skiing. So I'm just going to shoot some ramps. Actually, since I've got ball saved, I like to go for the drop target when I have ball save lit. And there's some bad plunges there for me, and that happens on No Fear. Doesn't happen all the time on mine. But I'm not going to go for that lock now because I have no ball save. And if I want to play seriously, I could just time it out. Or not. Here's our mystery reward. Video mode. There we go. There's our video mode. You've got different tracks in video mode. And I don't think there's any set pattern. I think every track is pretty much randomized from what I can tell. I could be wrong, but there's a few different tracks. And the goal is to jump off these, well, these hills, these mounds, and basically jump into the numbers. You'll hear the crowd cheer in the background when you do that. So that's good. 3 numbers in a row. And there we go. It's probably, yeah, 125 million. That sounds about right. Let's go ahead and pop it over just like that. Get a backhand to our Asphalt challenge, and there's our Asphalt challenge. So what I'll go ahead and do is play this one out, or attempt to anyway. And that's why flailing is bad in this game, because you'll just miss 5 times in a row like that. Completely my fault. I had no control. It's always easier for me to hit that left shot from the Vuck kick out, which is basically this mountain here. There we go. Mode's done. Feed it back to the saucer. Get control. Start challenge. That's exactly what I wanted. Now it's going to keep me from getting the Mortal Kombat 3 code, though. Yep. No Mortal Kombat 3 code for me. It's more or less just something that's fun to do. So, we went ahead and just locked in the value for 13 million. And at this point, when I'm playing a serious game, I don't go for any of these shots. None of them. I go for jump ramps. Because again, that's bonus. And if I was in a tournament, I would probably just time out the mode. And when you're in a tournament and you've got something like this going, time out the mode. Or you can just go for jump ramps. 25 million a shot if you can get it consistently. The 5th shot, the 5th jump is always 25 million, and then it caps out there. And that's that. But we knocked out 3 modes, so that's actually not half bad. We're only on ball 2. I'm going to go ahead and start my dirt challenge. And basically do the same thing. Now, if the auto plunge doesn't kick the ball all the way up to the lock shot, it will still credit you for whatever mode you had selected. For instance, if I did start challenge, it'll still start the challenge even though the ball doesn't actually physically go all the way up. If you select light lock, it'll still credit you the lock. And that can be confusing, especially if you're in a tournament scenario and you're not too familiar with that. I actually had somebody ask me about that last night at the tournament, and with what they did, they thought they didn't get credited the lock shot, but in reality they actually did. Light return lanes, that will light my basically my hurry up, but I'm not going to go for the hurry up. What I'm going to go for is my modes. This is my last mode. There we go. And this is a mode where you really just want to time it out because it sucks. Or I can go for the hurry up. There we go. 50 million. And this is boring, but this is kind of what you have to do. Because this mode's not any good. It's not any good. Really bad mode. But the problem with this is that you're going to have to make a shot eventually. So, we're at 14 seconds, and it just keeps looping 14 seconds. I'm going to see if I can jiggle the ball up and pop it into that left saucer. But slingshots should start the timer, and it did, but I also hit the stand-up target here. And it should give me enough time to time out the rest of the mode. And then if it does, I'm in a perfect position and just backhand up and start No Limits, which is my first wizard mode. There we go. No Limits is ready. No Limits is going. So let's get some balls cradled and just pummel that left ramp all day. Got our extra ball lit. I went ahead and went for the raceway value, even though I probably shouldn't have. But I'm going to get that ball back and get a free shot in that left ramp. Take advantage of that ball saver. Take advantage of it. Or not. Let's go ahead and get our no fear letters lit. Get our extra ball. If you're doing loops up top and you get into a groove, just keep going for them. Don't stop. Those are points, and that's bonus. Even if you get all your no fears letters lit, keep going for it. I mean, you're already up there doing it anyway. So it gave me start challenge. We're going to go ahead and start Fearfest. Remember, this is not tournament settings. So if you're going to experience no fear in a location, this is probably how it's going to play. It's probably not going to be in tournament mode. Unless you're at a location that actually has a lot of tournaments. But if you're not, it's probably going to be like this. Well, it looks like it didn't divert me, even though I had just hit the right ramp, so maybe I was wrong about that. I have actually had the magnets kick on and not turn off when I was in my Ultimate Wizard mode. But that's apparently a bug in the version 1 ROM, which I have in here. And that is something you have to watch out for. So if you play a No Fear out in the wild, definitely keep an eye on what ROM revision it is. Alright. And we're back out of the mode. But 3.6 billion, not too bad for not really playing that well. And so let's just go ahead and keep on keeping on. Let's get those No Fear letters and get into Meet Your Maker, which is where we really want to be for points. The little hop over from one flipper to the next doesn't really work that well on my No Fear. But it was working great on my friend's last night. His game was just very slick. He also had super band rubbers on his, which are urethane rubbers. I had just traditional rubbers, actual real rubber. And so it's a little bit harder for it to just roll off, hop off on mine. I've also recently cleaned my rubbers, so they don't have any dirt on them really. So that'll also sort of give a little more grip. When rubbers get really, really dirty, you'll notice that the ball just flies down a lot faster. It's weird how it works, but so let's go ahead and get those No Fear letters again. That was a bad live catch because I didn't live catch it. Oh man, whew! Oh, really, man, really? That is just not cool. After doing those nudges and trying to get the ball from draining, because it really drains a lot on that right out lane. All right, we're still in ball 2 though. So I'm going to go ahead and just do flipper skill shot. I'm going to have to hit that left ramp anyway. Might as well just get the skill shot while I'm at it. And I missed. But it's alright. As long as I got control, it's alright. Again, keep shooting it if you're up there. It's points. And what's it going to do? Light lock. Thank you. And let's go ahead and get our Meet Your Maker. Let's get that wizard mode. Here we go. So now it's all about jump ramps, jump ramps, jump ramps. Oh, I'm having no luck. All right. Pop it up. Jump over. Up the ramp. There we go. A bit of a flick pass. Not a good flick pass, though. Hop it over. Thank you. Let's try to get control. So I'm up to pretty much 11 billion points. So I have been making some decent work of this mode, but I could be doing a little bit better. Just a little bit. And that was bad. I put myself out of control, but I've got both balls cradled now, so I guess it worked out. But it was a risk I took. Not the best choice. Definitely not the best choice. I should have just left the other ball cradled. But it's behind me now, as you can see. Can't dwell on mistakes too long as you're not completely dead. If you're completely dead, then that's a different story. You should definitely try to figure out where you went wrong. And that's my end of stroke switch not working right. I have a couple wires disconnected up there, which is giving me the good old Williams credit dot. I just need to go back in and resolder the wires. But occasionally the flipper will get stuck. Could also be a combination of the coil sleeve and plunger link that's up there in that flipper mechanism. Oh, really? Back to square one. That was my first track completion, which meant my hurry-ups are lit again, but I'm not going to go for them. What I'd rather do is go for that left saucer on the kick out. And just not do anything. Again, we're going to time this mode out, just like before. I don't think I'll get to the wizard modes a second time. Again, No Fear can be a kind of a brutal game, but if you time your modes out, you have a better chance because you're you're making a lot less shots, so there's a lot less risk in making it to the other modes again. Let's go ahead and how do I want to do this? How do I want to do this? Let's just, well, we can do that. And there. timer's going to start. That was a good live catch, but it's not the kind of live catch I usually get on this game. Again, live catching is very, very tough on No Fear in general. Especially, like, my flippers are a teensy tiny bit high, which makes live catching a little bit easier. The game I was playing last night, the flippers actually wouldn't come quite as high as I have them right here, which made live catching pretty much impossible from the orbits. When the balls were coming down kind of like this or slowly like that, live catching was totally possible. But the orbits, no, definitely not. And it looks like I can't fully time it out. It's stuck at 2 seconds or so. Look at that. There we go. In the process, we started payback time. So I'm going to go ahead, and this is payback time. Every shot is 25 million. Your best bet is just... Ooh, got a tilt warning. So I need to make sure I don't do anything to the machine. So what I'm going to do is just try to time out payback time. Because I don't want it. I want to go back into my next mode and keep progressing through the game. I can also try to go for the saucer, see if it'll just feed me a multi-ball or something like that. Or maybe another extra ball. Remember, this is not tournament mode, so I can play that way. Oh, it's stuck. Damn you, payback time. Alright. There we go. Let's hit that saucer. Oh, it's still registered payback time. Payback time actually has some buffer time at the end of it. It'll still give you payback time points for about 2 or 3 seconds afterwards. Most modes in this game don't do that. Most modes, the second it hits 0 and you see the DMD change, bam, mode is gone. So, and again, I can't really move the machine that much more. I've already got one warning, and this game tilts very, very easily. That was lucky. See if we can get that Mortal Kombat code hint. There we go. Yin Yang. I was actually trying to go for that kickback, and it's a really tight little shot. It's tough to hit. I just needed one more take. Look at that, 773 million in bonus. And if I can just play a little bit better, I could potentially beat my GC, which again is about 21 million or 21 billion. Sorry, and that's with one extra ball. So I mean, if I really wanted to, I could try to start multi-ball again. Let's see if we can start multi-ball. Because if you play out your multi-ball right, you can get a couple billion points. You can get some points for it. Get your jackpots down, get into the rhythm, and you can get some really solid points for multi-ball. But I also have to remember I'm going to get close to $1 billion in bonus just for my jump ramps. Let's get control. Always got to get control, man. If you don't get control, well, you know how it goes. You're not getting that few billion points that you need. And that's how it goes. Just get some jackpots. There's one jackpot. Get some 25 million shots. Let's get that next jackpot. Got it. Let's go for the super. Remember, if you get all 3 jackpots, that's 350 million points for 3 shots. That's pretty solid. But when you're up there, just keep going. That's an extra 25 a shot. Plus, that's another 25 in bonus. Every 5 shots is 25 million in bonus. Alright, we've got control. Let's get some jackpots again. It's 50. 100. And that's just awful. Oh, it gave it to me. It gave me the 200. So look at that, guys. Give me something good. No, return lanes, that's not good, guys. Come on. You've already given me return lanes once. Give me something fun. Give me something fun like Dirt Challenge. So here's Dirt Challenge again. I'm going to go ahead and just keep getting those loops, man. I'm actually getting really close to beating my GC. I have to play it very careful. And I'm going to go ahead and just time this out. Ah, screw it. Get those points. Get those ramps. So let's try to guarantee myself 1 billion points in bonus. Beating my GC is going to depend on getting at least 1 billion points in bonus and getting a bunch of 25 million ramps. Like so. One of the big things in this game is if you hit the ball up here on the right side of the skull shot and it jiggles up, it'll come back straight down the middle, which is why I smacked the cabinet up here. If you smack the cabinet down here, it's going to shake down in this area, not up there. And what you need is to smack it up top to get this rail to bash the ball back over, and that's exactly what happened. So water challenge is lit. I'm going to go ahead and I was going to try to get that, but there we go. Got it anyway. So we'll go ahead and just do more jump ramps up top. Wow. Well, that's going to put me over my GC, though, because you also get bonus for the challenges. Let's go ahead and cancel that out. Oh, I barely beat it. Wow. Wow, barely beat it. So there we go, guys. A serious game of No Fear. A serious game which entails timing out a lot of modes, unfortunately. My last GC, I actually pretty much played out all the modes. And I actually did play out some of those modes. There was an air challenge I was trying to play out. But I believe I also started going for the kickback and then drained it during it. Maybe that was another mode. But yeah, that pretty much concludes our No Fear tutorial. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, post some comments below. Or if I got some information wrong, definitely post some comments on this YouTube video. For anybody like watching on Twitch right now, I'm going to go ahead and restart the stream to save this video file of the stream. And then I'm going to go ahead and just start up with some casual play and just sort of hang out with you guys for a little bit. And yeah. So yeah, if you guys are watching from YouTube, be sure to follow me on Twitch. Again, it's twitch.tv/AKMPinball. And of course, a description will be, or a link will be in the video description below. And definitely follow me there. I'll be streaming on a regular basis. And as you guys know, as you've seen with my YouTube videos, I do rotate my collection out somewhat frequently. And as such, I will have varying games to stream and so forth. Currently, it's No Fear, 8-Ball, Hollywood Heat, and I will be getting a Demolition Man later this week. The No Fear will be going soon. I'll be swapping it out with something different. and who knows what that game will be. So I'll have a couple new games as well coming to stream, and hopefully I'll be able to stream and record some videos of just pinball machines at my friends' houses. Hopefully they want to do some streaming or get some video. I've got a proper camera mount now, so you get a straight top-down playfield picture, and it's pretty cool. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching, and I will catch you later.